Hello, fellow herbalists and herb enthusiasts. I'm Rivkah Asoulin, founder, creator, and executive director of Ancient Roots Israel. I am standing in front of a fig tree and I thought it would be funny to begin here because my profile picture on ancientrootsisrael.com is actually taken right in front of this tree, of course, when it was in season before it lost its leaves, which you may be able to see down here. We're in my backyard and I put up some pictures of Sticky Fleabane, which also has a bunch of other not common names that are escaping my head right now. And I got a lot of comments back from people who were really interested to learn more about it and learn what to do with this plant and how to wildcraft it. So I thought I would take you into my backyard and show you some of the plants and how I'm wildcrafting them. I'm going to be making an infused oil and I'm going to be making a tincture. So many of us already know how to do this, but some of us don't. And I thought I'd give a little fun tutorial and you can get to know me a little bit, get to know my really crazy backyard that all the neighbors think, yeah, it's pretty wild back here, but that's where I find the medicine that I'm meant to have. So give me a minute, I'll turn the camera around and show you some of this yellow Sticky Fleabane. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Sticky Fleabane right here. It's gone to seed. This is called the fruits, but to me it looks like a seed head. Here's one of the beautiful, beautiful yellow flowers on here. Just trying to get it focused. And here are the sticky leaves, which have some of the seed heads on here. Now the seed heads can tear up the digestive tracts of animals. That makes me a little nervous. So I'm going to try to clear as many of those as I can, even though I'll be filtering out the plant material in my tinctures and infused oil. But yeah, they are sticky. And they're not sticky because of a latex. They're sticky because of a sticky resin, which I believe is in glandular hairs on the underside of the leaf. But to tell you the truth, it just feels sticky everywhere. They're serrated and they have a camphor type smell. Although the ones that are growing locally, I don't know, they're maybe faintly unpleasant, but this other species in the genus have like really awful reputations for stink, and I wouldn't say that these fall into that at all, but they definitely have a very high amount of volatile oils and a nice strong smell. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do I call this the 7-song maneuver. And the reason, 7-song will be one of our speakers at Ancient Roots. The reason I call this the 7-song maneuver is because even though I did it, and most herbalists do it, I realized from 7-song that this is unique to herbalists when we're wildcrafting. So I call it the 7-song maneuver. I'm going to try to, let me see. If I can do it with one hand. Basically on this plant, I think I need to strip the leaves. Here, there we go. I'm pulling up just to strip off the leaves from the plant. Okay, here's the stem. And that just stripped the leaves off. Sometimes you just take your fingers and move up. Sometimes you have to go in the opposite direction to strip them. But oh my goodness, it's so sticky. Look, it's sticking to my finger. And they're sticking to each other. And basically, I'm going to take this and put it into my wildcrafting jar. Sorry about this. Okay, so I'm just putting it right in. And of course, I've labeled the jar, dated the jar. And one of these will be, I'll just pour the oil on it. One, I'll pour the vodka on it. I believe that herbal medicine is people's medicine. So even though people have different feelings about how they make their tinctures and infused oils, and if they warm it and if they slow warm it, or in the case of Inula Viscosa, the recommendation is to boil it in oil, which I guess would perhaps mean simmer. I think I'm just going to infuse it in a sunny window. And it's pretty simple. I pour the menstruum over it and get a chopstick or a long spoon or a knife or whatever I have handy and stir it up just to make sure that the menstruum gets in between all the leaves and really all the way down to the bottom and it's well covered. And then of course I'll check it a few days later and see if I need to add some more. And in the case of oil, I will put down some kind of absorbent cloth or something under my jar to catch any drips or leaks. So I will take you to the kitchen once I've filled up my second jar, and we'll have a look at how to add the menstruum. Okay, so before we get started, this is kind of like a comedy of errors, because before I wanted to apply the menstruum, I've been sitting here scrubbing and scrubbing at my hands. I actually took a video where you could see my fingers sticking together from the resin, but we're finally getting some of it off now, but it's really taking a lot of time. And in the meanwhile, I have gotten sticky resin all over my phone while I'm making this video with one hand. So very, very interesting, but I just wanted to draw your attention to the fact that it's really sticky work. You may want to use gloves. And also, some people have an allergic reaction to the resin in the leaves. So you will want to check and see if you are one of those people and proceed with caution. My herbalist son, Pele, just got home from school, and that way I don't have to hold the camera with my sticky hands. Inula Viscosa, we're going to make a tincture. This is vodka, and this vodka is actually 40% vodka. Ideally, you're going to want 50-50. You want to drink vodka? I don't think so. That's my tip. Okay, so ideally you want 50% alcohol to 50% water. This is the best I can do, the best proportions I can get in Israel unless I special order it. This is what's available at the local supermarket for us. That's kosher, and it used to be also kosher Pesach. And if it's kosher for Passover, then that means I can use my herbal tinctures all year round. But it doesn't have that designation anymore, so I have to call and look into it. If you have any more information about that, please comment below. Our wooden spoon, I'm going to use the back of it to kind of stir. And I'm doing this the most simple way, and I just want to draw your attention. Some people would take the herb and chop it up and put it in, or run it through a blender, or do whatever. Those are all wonderful ways to make herbal medicine, and I support it entirely and do it myself. But for this video, I just want to show everyone how incredibly easy and kind of mindless it is to make herbal medicine. You just go out in the field, pick the leaves, put the leaves whole into your jar, the whole leaves. You don't have to break them up. You don't have to chop them up. You put them in a jar. You pour your alcohol on top. You wait 6 to 8 weeks. Shake it up every now and again when you think of it. Add a little bit more if you find that your alcohol is evaporating. I'm using old honey jars with old lids. Not ideal. I can't find mason jars here. If you can find mason jars in Israel, comment below. But it's easy. Just use an old glass jar. There's really no excuse not to make herbal medicine. You can do it today. So my cameraman will show you. Come, cameraman. Thank you. And he's going to show you how I'm simply pouring in the vodka. And we're just pouring it on top. Hang on, sweetheart. And we're going to go very slowly. You'll have to excuse my children. But you know what? Herbal medicine is people's medicine. Moms with 7 kids running around, some of them without clothes, can still make herbal medicine. And so can you. Okay, so there we go. We've used almost a full bottle. of alcohol. Now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to take this, a chopstick would be better, but did I mention I'm a mother of 7? Sometimes my kids break all the chopsticks, and we still make herbal medicine, even when our kids break all the chopsticks. So there we go. I'm just kind of pushing around. There's actually a fair amount of space between these leaves. My other one is packed tighter. But again, 7 kids. Wildcrafting in your backyard. And, you know, no excuse not to make herbal medicine. So I'm going in there just like that. I'm going to see if I can add a little bit more vodka in there, just right to the top. Oh, heck. Oh, goodness. Whoa, you guys. What? Perfect. Perfection right there, right to the top. So I'm going to just put a cap on it. And I will add this herbal tincture to my medicine cabinet. It's one of my kitchen cabinets that has been appropriated for making herbal medicine. And it's going to sit there for 6 to 8 weeks, and every now and again I'll give it a little shake. We're going to turn off the video right now, but I'll show you some of the other herbal preparations I'm making so you can see what's happening here. And I want to hear all about what you're making in the comments below. Okay, here we are at the cabinet. Now you know my hidden secrets above the glass cups. We've got ashwagandha. There's the ashwagandha. Purchased from Asoulin, by the way, one of the sponsors of our event and speakers at our event. We've got astragalus, and hey, we've got some Vitex brewing, and we've got all sorts of fun things like powdered dried rosemary and yarrow, some Queen Anne's lace that I wild crafted, which I will talk a bit about on my lecture on herbal birth control. Fermented garlic honey, which is kind of old there, and you know, elderberry and just different things that have been. There's sambucus. I've got sambucus flour, and I have another one that's the berries. But yeah, all kinds of interesting stuff back here. There's some echinacea. At any rate, yeah, herbal medicine is people's medicine. We just put it wherever we find place. And look, I've got some sweet almond oil up there for doing some infused oils, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to use olive oil because olive oil is the traditional menstruum for Sticky Fleabane. So we'll be using olive oil for that, and we've got some activated charcoal, which I'm sure Seven Song will talk about when he discusses herbal first aid at Ancient Roots. So now let's make our oil. Okay, the final part of Inula Viscosa. Detrichia viscosa. That's today's date, so we'll know when we made it. Whole leaves. I tightly packed this one. And to my husband's chagrin, I'm going to take our regular olive oil that we eat with and go ahead and just start pouring that in. And I can also warm this because I have a feeling this can be warmed with a bit more pressure, meaning like with some more focused heat, since the recipes talk about boiling it in oil, which I probably would say simmering. But here we are, taking up a lot of oil, and you know, in a sunny window, I'm going to see what kind of extraction I can get. I'm just experimenting here. You know, if you've already done this experiment and it's worked for you or hasn't worked for you and you want to save me time, go ahead and comment below. I feel like a social media star. I keep saying comment below. And like our page. Subscribe and like. And follow us on social media at Ancient Roots Israel. AncientRootsIsrael.com on our homepage. We've got a YouTube channel. We've got all kinds of good stuff. Oh, listen to that. One of my 7 children crying again. And yeah, we're still making herbal medicine. Even like that, even when the videos aren't perfect. So here we go. We're gonna pop that spoon in here. It's pretty densely packed, but I just want to make sure I'm getting all the way to the bottoms. See if I can get any of that air out or bubbles out or whatever. Bring some of that stuff to the surface. It's a bit hard to do with one hand on the camera and one hand on the spoon, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this oil. This is the first time I've ever wildcrafted this plant, even though my backyard is full of it. We're just gonna top that off. And of course, since we top that so high, we will expect seepage. But the idea is to keep all of the plant material covered. So we'll check on it over the next few days and see how it's progressing, make sure all of our plant material is covered. Oh my gosh, so exciting. Working with a new plant. That's so wonderful. So I'll tighten that lid up. Hang on just a minute. All right, there we go. And I'm gonna give it a little shake. Inula viscosa, Rivkah Viscosa. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope that you enjoyed even with the loud noises. But most importantly, I hope that you've learned that herbal medicine is people's medicine, and there's no excuses to use the plants growing in your own backyard. It doesn't take a lot of time. Everything doesn't have to be perfect and sanitized and sanitary.
Hi.
It can just be, and that's wonderful too. Comment below and let me know what you think about this. If you're interested in any more videos about this, or if you have any more information about this particular plant or other plants that you would like to share with the group. And I look forward to learning from all of you and learning with you at Ancient Roots Israel this February 9th through 11th in Poria near Tiberias, Israel, in the north of Israel, 2020.